I'm joined here by Alistair, market strategist with Currencies Direct. Thanks very much for joining us.
No problem.
So we're about a week into Q4 now, and we just wanted to get your kind of views on where things might be going, what we can expect a little bit. Last quarter we were given a lot of kind of central bank promises or sort of official action. What do you think we can expect this quarter?
It was pretty much dominated by central banks the last quarter across the currency markets. Looking forward, now that the Fed has introduced open-ended QE tied to the unemployment rate, it's still going to be dominated by the central banks, but not by their announcements as much. We've got this backstop that Ben Bernanke announced, and that they will continue with QE until the unemployment rate comes down enough for them to stop effectively. So in terms of what the Bank of England and the ECB are going to do, then it's all going to be backstopped by the Fed, unfortunately. So less important announcements, but still very much dominated by central banks.
And we had another big day with Europe yesterday, but still no kind of ask for help from Spain. Do you think this is going to weigh on the euro, like moving forward into the next quarter?
Right, yeah, absolutely. We got the bounce after Mario Draghi's announcement a couple of months ago, and it's just sentiment on the wane. Coming back from the euro highs, really, it's very likely that the euro sentiment will continue to sort of diminish as we move forward until we get some more concrete data about whether Spain is going to ask for it, when and where the Spanish will announce.
And we had another big kind of GDP, a forecast today, an estimate. What do you think? How do you think traders are going to play this now in the UK? We've had IMF kind of slashes to year-long forecasts.
Yeah.
How do you think they're going to digest all this?
Well, I think it was priced in really, because the GDP figure from the previous quarter was disappointing, but it was because of the Jubilee holiday, for example, and the extra days off. The reasonable estimate from today, I think, was probably fully priced in, because it's just an accounting identity at the end of the day, and the negative data just gets pushed forward to this one instead.
Yeah, sure. And thinking again we spoke a little about America a moment ago. We had some good news with the jobs report last Friday. Yeah. And perhaps good news for Obama in terms of his re-election chances. Yeah. But we've got Q3 earnings on the way, which aren't expected to be quite as positive.
Yeah.
How do you think that's all going to sort of factor in? Do you think that's going to get do you think the earnings are going to overshadow anything positive from the jobs?
I think, as you say, earnings are not expected to be as good, but with the Fed backstopping almost everything with open-ended QE, I really don't think it's going to make as much difference as it would in a sort of a normal economy. I think we're in a bit of an uncharted territory in terms of where we are at the moment with open-ended QE, as I've said. So it does have the potential to be negative for the dollar, for example, but I think that's going to be overwhelmed by what the Fed's doing.
So when we're talking safe havens, we're really still talking
the dollar yen, yeah.
And what about gold? I mean, last quarter we saw 14.2% gains, I think, in gold just over the period of the quarter, and it's really been on the ascent for the last kind of decade.
Yeah.
Are you bullish for gold this quarter going forwards, or are you kind of thinking it's going to run out of steam?
I think it's still the bullish case for gold, as long as there is the perception that QE is dilutionary to the currency. I think everyone's general opinion will be that gold is the currency of choice, effectively, to maintain your purchasing power against currencies that can be devalued by money printing, if that's your take on it. So yeah, still bullish case for gold.
The Aussie's been another one that people have been talking about a lot and getting pretty excited about. We've seen some impressive gains already this year. What do you think now that there's a bit more of a focus on the squeeze in China? I mean, how do you think this is going to play?
I'd be loath to bet against the Aussie dollar. I think there is the mining sector over there. Everyone knows the Australian dollar is a bit of a proxy for China, but there's still scope for the mining sector over there to expand. It's going to take a humongous slowdown in China to really affect that. So I wouldn't want to bet against the Aussie dollar at this stage.
We're skipping about a bit here, but we're trying to cover all the bases. Dollar yen, lots of people enjoy betting, going dollar yen.
Yeah.
What's your take on volatility coming up or trading opportunities?
I'd still be long the yen in that pair. Probably short term, it may come back a little bit, but still positive on the yen against the dollar.
And talking trading activity, lots of brokers we've been speaking to are talking about reduced volumes, and is that your experience here? Have you been experiencing the same?
Yeah, exactly. Certainly, overall trading volume is down from this time last year.
Mm-hmm.
Still lots of clients trading. It's just overall numbers, really.
What do you think could inspire a bit of like a rebound in terms of volume? Anything at all? Is it just the uncertainty that's around?
I think it is. At the end of the day, it comes down to politicians. We think they need to take decisive action, and they're not willing to do it at the moment. They're like teenagers putting off the hard decisions till the very end. Unfortunately, until they act, I don't think businesses are going to be able to or be in the position to take the necessary risk to put that big order in, for example. And so I expect FX volumes to be depressed until we get some sort of resolution.
Bit of a waiting game.
Exactly.
Yeah. And just to sort of finish off with your kind of a trade you like the look of at the moment, a top kind of trade.
We still think long euro dollar.
Euro dollar.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. That's great.